welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing the totally should've book tag. Book tags are not something I do a lot on my channel, at least not yet, and I think this one really appealed to me just because I think the questions are so fun. So we're just gonna get right into it. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I release new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. The first question, or I guess prompt, is totally should have gotten a sequel. And easy. Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson. I needed a sequel yesterday for this book. This was an incredible standalone fantasy book, and I know that Brandon Sanderson does have plans potentially to have another book in the future, so that can't come soon enough. I wish there was already a sequel out for this. I'm already dying to get back into the world and read more about these characters, so definitely Warbreaker for this one. Next prompt is totally should have had a spin-off series. That's really hard. I think I'm gonna say vicious. I don't know. I think I'm gonna say vicious. And I know that there's vengeful, but that wasn't totally a spin-off. That's a sequel. And I think what a really interesting spin-off series would be following what's her name? What is her name? Sydney. I think it would be so fascinating following Sydney in her own little adventures. I love Sydney in this book. She's one of my favorites. I mean, Victor's my favorite. But if we had a spin-off series of Sydney, I'd read that. Yeah, so I'm gonna go with vicious. The next prompt is an author who should totally write more books. This one I definitely already have an answer for. Definitely Jandy Nelson. So Jandy Nelson is the author of I'll Give You the Sun and The Sky is Everywhere, both of which I've read and absolutely loved. I just love her writing style so much and how she creates her characters. If she wrote another book and it came out tomorrow, I would buy that. I would buy it right away, first thing, and I think she's writing another one. I don't really know. It's been on Goodreads for a while, but hasn't gotten any updates, so I think maybe fake news. I just really want her to come out with another book. I will read any of your books, Jandy. Please come out with another. The next prompt is a character who should have ended up with someone else. Ruin and Rising. Yeah, I know this is a pretty popular opinion. I'm not gonna say who the couple is at the end of this, just in case any of you out there haven't read it and are interested in reading this trilogy. I didn't like it. I didn't like it one bit. I did not see them together the entire series. I hated them together. I don't like him, but I like her. I'm being very vague on purpose. Yeah. If you've read Ruin and Rising, you know who I'm talking about, and you know why. Do I need to explain myself? No. Right. Totally should have ended differently. Right, this one, I actually haven't talked about this series much at all on my channel, and I think it's because of this book. The Midnight Star. So, I loved The Young Elites when it came out. And then The Rose Society, oh my god, I loved The Rose Society even more. And then The Midnight Star came out. No, none of this. No. No. It undid everything I loved in The Rose Society. No! So this one, I'm not going to say much because I don't want to spoil anything. But if you've read this, do you agree? No one talks about this, and we need to talk about this. No. Totally should have had a movie franchise. Oh my god, I've got one. I'm totally gonna say Mistborn. Are we surprised? Is anyone surprised that I'm saying this? This would make the coolest movie. Reason being, Action scenes, amazing. The world would be so cool to see on screen. The characters, incredible. The pace, the plot, everything. It makes the perfect movie. I just like had a movie playing in my mind while I was reading this. This is incredible. This needs to be a movie tomorrow. I would go watch it. Who's with me? And then totally should have had a TV show. I could also say Mistborn for this one because I'll take whatever I can to see Mistborn on the small screen, on the big screen. I don't care where I see it. I just really want to see Mistborn come to life. But I'm going to say for the TV show, I'm going to go with another one of Brandon Sanderson's works, and that's The Way of Kings and just the Stormlight Archive series in general. I think this would be really, really challenging to adapt to the screen, but if you could do it right with like an HBO budget and like the right effects and cast, this could be incredible. These characters are some of the best fantasy characters I've ever read about. The world is so weird and cool, and there are so many aspects of this. Like, oh my god, if we could see the bridge crew on screen, that, so yeah, I'm gonna go with the Stormlight Archives for the TV show, but I would take Mistborn too. I should have had only one point of view, and this one is interesting because I think I'm going to go with Outlander here. Outlander, I think we do only follow one perspective in Outlander. But there's other books in the series where we start introducing a lot more perspectives. And I know why. I get it, Diana Gabaldon. I get why you did it. But I don't like it. Like, I want to just follow Claire and maybe one other perspective. And I have a certain one in mind, but I'm not going to say anything because that could be spoiler alert for sure. So I would have much preferred less perspectives in this series. Maybe not only one perspective, but at least less perspectives, because Outlander, I believe, was only told from Claire's point of view. Maybe there was a chapter or two that wasn't, but this one was so good, and it's a lot shorter than the rest of the series because it's only told from Claire's point of view. And I just enjoyed that so much more. A lot of the other perspectives I skimmed through, I'm not gonna lie. There's one in particular I'm thinking of that I skimmed through a lot. So yeah, I'm gonna say Outlander. Totally should have a cover change. I hate these covers. I'm gonna go with the whole Remnant Chronicles series. I hate these. These are so, like, look at, this is so like classic YA fantasy, like old school, where you have the person on the cover, you see the back of their head, they're looking in the distance. We've got like this little weird hunter guy hanging out in the distance. We've got another person and a horse over here. In the very far distance, we've got some crows, some clouds, and just like, oh no, so cringy. So I'm gonna say the Remnant Chronicles. Yeah. Totally should have kept the original covers. Okay, repeat book here, or I guess series here, but I know that they recently changed the whole Grisha trilogy covers, and I loved these covers. These are actually the old covers. These are stunning. They did not need a cover change. And I'll say, like, the new ones, they're pretty too, but these were so great already. This is actually one of my favorite covers that I own. I do not think the cover change was necessary at all. So I'm gonna say the whole Grisha trilogy. The last prompt is totally should have stopped at book 1. So a series that went on too long. That's so, like, sassy. It's gonna sound so bad. I'm gonna say Caraval by Stephanie Garber. I liked this series just fine. It was average, 3 out of 5 stars. Did I love it? No. Did I hate it or dislike it? No. It was just kind of middle of the road for me. I think a lot of it had to do with the writing style. We got into some of those metaphors that you kind of step back and you're like, wait, does that even make sense? Like, how do you taste heartbreak and smell mystery? Like, what? So it was a little bit of that writing that I don't love. It kind of takes me out of the story. And then the characters, they were all just kind of like playing their part. No pun intended, because this is all about like putting on a show. But they didn't have anything like really outstanding about them. They were all just kind of playing their part of the plot, and they were who they needed to be to move the plot forward, but they didn't have anything like special about them, like nothing like quirky or that you can kind of like latch on to and remember like, oh yeah, that was the character with like the, I don't know, the weird quirk or the fun hobby or something. I don't know, just something other than being there only to move the plot forward. So it was like those kinds of characters that don't really stand out. And I think this just could have stopped at book 1. I thought that the mystery in this was fun and the atmosphere of it was fun. I liked leaving it off with some of those loose ends untied. I didn't feel like it needed a trilogy. I think it should have maybe ended a little bit differently if it wasn't going to be a trilogy, but I think it could have been wrapped up in one book and we could have foregone some of the later events that come up in this series that were a little bit cheesy, to say the least. So this might be an unpopular opinion. You may love the Caraval trilogy, and that's awesome. I just personally thought it was like middle of the road, okay, and I would have liked to have seen it maybe just all wrapped up in one book. It could have been a cool standalone. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. That's the Totally Should've book tag. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. What did you think? Did you answer any of those questions differently? Did you agree with any of my answers? Disagree? I would love to know in the comments down below. And if you have any videos that you'd like to see in the future, make sure to let me know. I'm always looking for new ideas. Happy reading, and until next time, bye!